like I was vegan for a while, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to maintain that in this society, to be honest. And you try to make other people aware, and if in your own household you can make that change, that's fine. But sometimes it's really hard in this society to live that life. Also with cheese, sometimes it's just really hard to be really radical. And I think my family already say, "Oh, you're so radical on so many things."
How do you feel about this statement?
Animal abuse should be legal. Change my mind.
Do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
Why not?
Because hurting animals is the same as hurting people, and that's not okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you just shouldn't do it.
I like it. Okay, so you agree we shouldn't be harming cats or dogs.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
What about cows, chickens, pigs?
You shouldn't do it as well, but we also need food to grow and to get stronger. So, yeah, animal abuse isn't good, but sometimes we need food to survive.
But don't you think cats and dogs can be food?
It's different
How is it different?
because and cats and dogs are like pets, and we sometimes use them to hunt. But I don't think it's normal to eat cats or dogs.
But does it matter what is normal?
Um,
I mean, there's places where it's normal to eat dogs.
I just think it's weird to.
En dan kun je ook zeggen dat je bent wel mindful. Want je hebt vegetariërs bij jou thuis en dat je wel minder vlees eet dan een normaal gezin.
Yeah, my sister is
Vegetarian.
yeah vegetarian. So we don't. Yeah, when she's home, we don't really eat meat. So
I mean, that's great already, but like, do you think that any other time it's fair towards these animals to put them in these places, like in slaughterhouses and stuff like that? Because, like, I don't know, have you ever played with a pig or a cow? They're very gentle animals, you know. They're happy. They like to roam around. In fact, there's videos online. I think you can look it up. That you throw a bowl to a cow and they come and bring it back, just like a dog would. So they're just big dogs with hoofs.
yeah,
Do you think that to them it matters what role you assign to them? Do you think that to them it matters that you call them food or you call them pets?
no.
No, right? So, given that we don't need to consume any animal products, do you think it's fair to put them in these situations? No. Okay. So we at least reached that point. It's not fair. Do you think that
Yeah.
you want to continue doing that?
Not really. I want to become a vegetarian, but not right now because I still need to grow.
Do you think you can't grow without eating animal products?
I don't know. Not really.
Oh, you can. There's the largest nutritionist, the largest organization of nutritionists on the planet, say that a vegan diet is suitable for all ages and stages of life. So that means infancy, childhood, pregnancy, athletes, everything.
But you still have to be, like I also was vegan for a while. Vitamin B12, you cannot get it without eating certain foods, and at his age, I still think
Yeah, you gotta supplement it.
Yeah.
But like for me, for example, what happened to me was when I was 16 years old, not 16 actually, sorry, 25. But when I was 25, I was B12 deficient,
Yeah.
and I wasn't vegan. So B12 deficiency doesn't necessarily come from lack of animal products, because B12 comes from a bacteria that's on the ground, and because we've been farming so much, we kind of messed up that bacteria. So animals don't really get B12 anymore. Rather, they get shots of B12. So, for example, if you buy biological meat or stuff like that, you may not get B12 anyway. So you need to look after that. Like I'm just telling you right now. Anyway, like you need to look after if you're getting your B12 levels. But like for example, you said vegetarian. Do you know what? And you're a vegetarian. Do you know what happened?
vegan for a while though, and then I make sure that if I still buy cheese, for example, it's without stremsel. I don't know how you say it in English.
Come here and talk to me. Come on.
Then when you buy cheese, for example, that it's biological cheese that is not used with the stomach of the goat.
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
Renee, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know how you say it in English. And
Yeah.
also that when you buy eggs, for example, that at least you know that they have a lot of space, or that they free range, so that you make sure that the animal still had a good life.
But do you think, do you know anything about the dairy industry, for example?
I
Like,
do.
Do you know what happens to cows in the dairy industry?
I do know with it that like they have to get a calf every 6 months to keep maintaining
Yeah.
milk, and that's why I also don't buy milk.
But cheese is the same, right? It's
I know, but then you make sure that at least it comes from a farm where you know it's local and that they had a good life.
But they do the same thing on all farms. On all farms, they forcefully impregnate cows. On all farms, they take away their babies because the milk has to go for human consumptions. And then on all farms, when the cows can no longer be easily forcefully impregnated, they get slaughtered.
Yeah.
And that happens usually at less than a third of their life.
Yeah.
So is there any difference between meat consumption and dairy consumption?
I mean, no, probably not. But I think it's also about finding a balance in life where you can live with yourself, let's say. And I think if you are aware, at least that's one step, and that you try to minimize the consumption. I think it's really hard also with your family to have, like I was vegan for a while, and it's really hard to maintain that in this society, to be honest. And you try to make other people aware. And if in your own household you can make that change, that's fine. But sometimes it's really hard in this society to live that life.
No, I acknowledge that we are in a non-vegan world and it is difficult to be vegan.
Yeah.
But would you say it's the right thing to do to be vegan?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, so sometimes the right thing to do isn't always the easiest thing to do. It's sometimes the hard thing to do. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, right? Like my family, none of them are vegan, so I can understand that difficulty. I still have discussions with them, so that there's that difficulty to it. But for me, I think like according to my own values, I would never put an animal to a slaughterhouse if I can choose otherwise. That's the whole point. And
I understand that, but I think there are a lot of other things. Like, I don't know if you also do it for sustainability reasons and for health reasons, then you could also counter, like I could say to you, do you drink alcohol, for example? That's also...
But like, but none of that, it's not for health. So veganism, by the way, because I see you touched upon that, veganism means just like, it's a moral position where we say we don't want animals to be oppressed for us. We don't want them to be exploited or slaughtered. It's the diet that comes with it is just a consequence of it. It's not if you just follow the diet, it means you're plant-based, not vegan. Vegan, it's like this moral position where you say...
I get that. Do you have a pet?
I do not know, no.
What's your position on having a pet then?
I don't believe any animals should be properties.
Yeah.
I disagree on the idea that because all animals deserve freedom just like we do. So I don't think they should be property, but I acknowledge that there are animals in this world who are designated pets, let's put it this way, and they're in shelters. So if somebody wants to adopt an animal from a shelter and they want to take care of it, unfortunately the world we live in, it's the only way to do it. You don't have to think of them as property, but maybe only legally they can be property. But like companionship is fine. You can have companionship with animals, right? It's no problem there. But what is holding you back right now from being a vegan?
I think just the difficulty of the diet. As I said, like from a moral perspective, I 100% agree with you. Like I really love animals, and if people tell me I love fish, then I say no, you don't love fish, because if you love fish, you wouldn't eat it, right?
There you go. But isn't it the same with dairy products and eggs?
I agree, and I try not to buy eggs, and I don't most of the time.
Yeah.
Let's say. Or with milk, I don't drink regular milk, but also with cheese, sometimes it's just really hard to be really radical, and I think my family already say, "Oh, you're so radical on so many things."
I can relate to that. I've been called radical myself, but I feel like would you say it's cruel or unfair what we do to them?
Is it? I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't think it's right.
It's not right? So even if we do it once a year, once a month, once a year, it's still not right? Like, if we were to take this logic of saying, it's obviously better, reducing is obviously better, but if you were to take this logic and apply it to a different injustice, like somebody beats their wife every day, if they reduce it and they beat their wife once a week, it's obviously better for the wife, but it still doesn't meet that threshold where she doesn't get beaten.
I get that, but what is the alternative? Let's say, like for me, I love cheese, and that's actually true. I love eating cheese. And
I used to love it too. I relate to that.
So then you have to eat cheese that is from another product. And for me, the reason why I'm vegetarian is not only because of animals, it's also sustainability and for health reasons. Eating a lot of soy products is also not super healthy if you eat it.
It's still monumentally better for the environment, first of all.
But it depends on the scale, right? Let's say everybody stops eating cheese and everybody's gonna go to soy products.
Still better. like the environmental footprint. Like there's this study. I can show it to you if you want. There's this study that the environmental footprint of a plant-based person.
We do not know.
The environmental footprint of
Het is toch
a
interessant?
Yeah.
the environmental footprint of a plant-based person is a quarter of that of a meat-eating person, and half of a vegetarian. So you're still environmental footprint is still double of, let's say, meat, for example. It's not a competition, by the way. There's no way.
But do we really know the implications of like having to, let's say, deforest so many, like
Most of the deforestation. So in this study, they also measure deforestation.
Meat, right?
Yeah, for deforestation, for biodiversity, for for space, for land use. All of it is significantly lower on a plant-based diet, because what we don't consider a lot of the times is the fact that all of these animals have to be fed. So they have to be fed way more than we have to be fed. So in that situation, so there's another study from Mexico that said that for one plant-based protein, it requires 8 times more land than one animal-based protein. So that's still like monumentally worse. But
wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
yeah,
for
so one plant-based protein is 8 times less land than
But you
one.
said, I think
Oh, I said it the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, it's 8 times less land than one animal-based protein. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's environmentally, it's not good for us. Society, it's not good for us, because imagine we live in a society where we treat animals like objects, literally, and we justified, like throughout our history, we justified treating other humans like objects by saying they're like animals, like literally, like. If we were to live in a society where we show compassion and fairness towards animals, obviously towards humans it would come even easier. So for society it's better, for environment it's better, for our health it's better also.
I believe you. You don't have to.
There's no, like in milk and in cheese, milk is for babies so that they grow. So there is some growth hormones coming from cows, and that's specifically made for their calves. So there's also that, right? Like there's just no, like I feel like a lot of the people, most people, it's just a habit. That's the biggest issue. It's habit or cultural.
But
or
and
something.
price as well. Like it's like vegan cheese is, if you love cheese, right?
Of
I'm
course,
coming back to the substitute products.
Yeah. If you love cheese and you want to substitute cheeses, they are a bit more expensive. It's true, but like, do you think that would you spare for example, let's say, €10 per month to save 10 animals?
I mean, sure, but yeah.
It's kind of, we kind of have to balance things out a bit, right? Because so first of all, I don't think it matters how much we value animals ourselves. I don't particularly. I mean, I started liking animals since I became vegan, but before that I didn't really care about animals. I just thought it's unfair what we do to them. But we gotta acknowledge that value is not the value that matters is not the value that we give to them, but rather the value that they have on their own, right? Like animals value their life just as much as you value yours, just as much as I value mine. So
for sure,
that's Can I give you a card to look more into? Maybe it will help you with vegan. Do you live here in Netherlands?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of good options here.
And thank you so much, for doing this. Like, I think I hope you know that there are people who support your cause, and
I hope so. I hope you do something about it and you look into it, because it's especially I feel like. When you have all the resources needed there, and like if there's something that you want to watch, you said brother and sister. If there's something you want to watch with your brother, if you scan that code and set it to English, scan this code or go on this website, it's the same thing. There's a thing there called the most important speech you'll ever hear.
I'm going to challenge your belief systems today, so certain parts of the speech will be intense.
It's a very nice speech, talking about animal rights and talking about what we do to animals and the obligation. And I feel like it's something that if you ever want to convince your family, so many people have gone vegan because of that speech. Because it's just such a good speech. That's all about. And everything else, you have resources that you need there. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think animals should be treated like humans because they also have a life. So
you should be vegan then, huh? Sounds to me like it. By the way, I have images of what cows go through. I also have virtual reality of what cows go through. If you want to see that, but it's pretty. The virtual reality
graphic,
is
right?
the virtual reality. Yes, actually, all of it is pretty graphic. Yeah, that video that I told you is not very graphic, but everything else, it's pretty graphic. So
I don't want to traumatize him, but on the other hand, it would be good for you to see it. But I don't know. I'm not his mother, right? So I cannot make this decision.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
Yeah, and they are cold, so they want to.
yeah, it's okay. I appreciate you talking to me. Please choose a vegan lifestyle. It's for them. It's nothing more. You can choose to
We
eat
were even
healthy
talking
as
about
much as
it
you want.
this
Yeah, we
morning.
were talking about this morning. I
Yeah.
want to become vegetarian, but yeah.
Yeah, but keep in mind that vegetarians still
It's
contribute
still
to
dairy.
this exploitation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we love animals, we just gotta let them be free on their own, and we can go to sanctuaries and meet them. You know, but if you want to go somewhere very really nice, there's sanctuaries where you can go and pet cows, pet chickens. Oh, they're so nice.
Yeah.
Like they give such good hugs. Like cows are super gentle.
Yeah.
It's just love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Aline.
Aline. I'm Chip. How about you?
Arno.
Arnold. Yeah, you told me already at the beginning.
What's
I
your
forgot.
name again?
I'm Chip.
Chip.
Chip. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. Watch that video.
Yeah, I will. 100%.
Okay.
100%. And
Thank you.
as well.
Okay,
Thank you so
I love
much.
it.
Have a
Have a
nice day.